Okay, this video is going to tell you how to not get your Facebook account shut down. And if you don't know anything about Facebook accounts getting shut down and basically think, oh, well, that could never happen to me. It's happening to more and more and more people all the time as Facebook keeps getting more and more strict. If you're running Google ads, there's so much sturdiness to that platform in general. For the most part, Google accounts don't get shut down. If you do something wrong with Google, they tell you way in advance. You can make mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake. For the most part, if you go ahead and comply with all what they want you to do, you're fine. With some exceptions, if you're doing some things, your account will get banned right away. But for the most part, 99% of you guys, it's not a big issue. Facebook, on the other hand, you can get just absolutely blindsided by Facebook. You could have a perfectly running campaign. You have nothing at all wrong with it. All of a sudden, wake up one day, your account is banned. Or your Facebook is banned, your Facebook page is banned and it's restricted from advertising. Why? Because Facebook has a lot more requirements that they require from you, the advertiser, to uphold. It goes way beyond just the advertisements that you're running, complying with their policies. There's a whole bunch of other things like not answering comments. People pissed off at the type of ads that you run because they don't want to see the ad, regardless of certain people that you want to sell to wanting to see it, but other people don't want to see it. You can get your account shut down. Of course, if that same thing happens on Google, by the way, I've never seen an account get shut down. So anyway, I've came up with a simple list of things here that if you do these things, you're going to end up with a lot less of a chance to get your account shut down with all the new things that Facebook's looking for out of you, the advertiser. Respectively, this is all stuff that people don't think about or do, or maybe you do it, but you don't do it to the degree you should. I'm here to warn you about all the things that Facebook is actively looking for and what you should do as a part of your overall Facebook account hygiene to be able to do what you're supposed to do. As a side note, Facebook has a lot of different things in terms of policy restrictions on advertisements you can run. It also goes way beyond like what Google does as far as, restrictions on things, not being able to use certain logos in your ads, not being able to use, certain language, not being able to use before and after photos, which, respectively with that, also Google doesn't usually itself want to let you run, by the way. But there's a bunch of stuff that you got to know. Can't use any of Facebook's branding on your advertisements. Small stuff that you wouldn't know until you did it. I encourage you, if you really highly value your Facebook account and being able to advertise on Facebook, to either try to run through all of their material about what you can do and what you can't do, which there's a lot of it there. And if you don't, and you also very highly value your account, to go through and ask Facebook before you run something new that you, or just in general, or at least if you think it, at the very least, if you think it's questionable, to see if it's okay with their support. That in itself is kind of dicey. The support that you're going to get if you're at a low level of spend is not going to be very good. There are actually also services out there that have, ran by Facebook ex-employees that can tell you definitively whether something should be an issue because, of course, they've seen there and been there and they've done it all. And before you run something, they can tell you whether or not to do that. And the reason why that's important is because if you fuck up bad enough with your ad, you can get your account shut down with no warnings. Now, most of the time they're going to give you a warning, but not always. Same thing with stuff that's on your Facebook page itself. So that's something also that you may want to, consider, particularly as Facebook becomes a higher and higher percentage of your revenue and can't take a hit. For me, if all my, over half of my revenue from my business, and I was running a business that was already doing at least 500 grand a year in sales, yearly sales, I would be highly worried about Facebook going down. Since, at least from the standpoint of what I've seen and seen people's Facebook accounts go down here at our PPC agency, nothing for what we did, but just in general, accounts get shut down, they get suspended, actually fairly often. Whereas Google, it's rare. So just keep, be aware of that. It's good to have some insurance policies in place, as well as just to know, just do the other, general maintenance tasks that you should be able to, or can do and should do, to be able to also be on Facebook's good side, and frankly just be less of likely for Facebook to want to ban you in the first place. Because ultimately how this all works out is the more of the shit you do, the more of you piss off Facebook. And it's kind of like a cumulative thing. If your ads are disliked, but you're doing a lot of other things right, maybe they don't ban you. If your ads are disliked, and with that, you don't manage comments, you're more likely to get banned once they see you don't manage comments and your ads aren't liked. Maybe you have those two things, and on top of it, your payment source constantly gets shut down or whatever. And they see that and they say, okay, that's enough. We're not going to do this anymore. And respectively, even though you can technically get around, you can set up through your business manager a new Facebook account for yourself, a new page. You don't want to be in that position. And there's no guarantee if you do that, if you fucked up bad enough with your initial account, that the new account's going to work. Generally, you can do that, by the way. Usually, will take second or third account being shut down before before having new accounts. You're not going to be able to bail yourself out with a new account. And, respectively with that, it's also good policy to set up your accounts ahead of time so that if you do go down, you already have the one set up, it's already been pre-approved, versus being, shut down. Have your new one set up, and that new one that you set up under the same business manager is now going to be looked at very, very closely. And you go through a lot more of a review process right away when your account's brand new than you do once it's already established and running. I know that for a fact as well. So get your account set up ahead of time, run some ads through them even if you don't want to, have them on deck. They're like merchant accounts. You never know if your credit card processor is ever going to get shut down. And if it did, you don't want to be scrambling for 2 weeks to learn how to process a new card. The worst number in business is 1. You want 2 of everything you can, particularly anything that you could ask yourself, if it went down, shit would hit the fan. So anyway, with all that said, I'm going to get into the things that you can do to make yourself as a less target of Facebook with the stuff that they're actively also looking at now, so that you're less likely the stuff that you do maybe accidentally do or that comes up, that your overall level of how much you have pestered Facebook and what your reputation to Facebook is much better, so the accidental stuff that you do won't actually tip you over the edge of actually getting fully suspended and having to go through it, set up another account, have one very strong strike against you that Facebook never, potentially wants to do business with you again at that point, and lose that great opportunity in which Facebook could be. So with that said, here are the things. Now, anybody can go through and do all these things, and in my opinion, these are all things that I wouldn't look at as nice to have or optional. I would be absolutely wanting to be doing each one of these things. First thing is, start with paid likes. So if you are just starting out, and so this obviously doesn't apply to you guys already advertising, but if you had a new account, or if you take my advice and set up a few other Facebook accounts as backups to have them on deck in case your first account gets shut down, like I just told you to do, you set that Facebook account up. I would start out with the page tied to that and getting, share some stuff, and specifically pay to get some likes on the content you share there. Okay. Going further, if you have an ad that you want to advertise, you got one ad that works on one account, you're starting up a new account, you advertise on the new account, pay to have some likes, or just get some activity on the new ad again, so that when it's going, let's just put it this way. To the reputation that you have with Facebook heavily has to do with how Facebook, the people that are on Facebook has interacted with you and what they think of you. So one trick in order to kind of pump up your reputation with Facebook is to share stuff on Facebook that's going to naturally get a good feedback by most people. This particularly helps if what you're advertising, there are some people who see it who don't like seeing it, or might be jealous or haters, or are going to mark down, and you can flag an ad as something that you don't want to see that ad anymore, and that goes against your reputation. So what you can do is you start up a new Facebook account. You could share something that, like a quote or a saying, feel-good saying, in an ad, and run it in a third world country where the advertising prices are almost nothing, and you could spend $20 getting 500 likes on a Facebook post. You could do that as a boost post, so you could share that on your Facebook page, boost it, get 500 likes on that, and then right away you've automatically just bought yourself a reputation with Facebook. So if anything else goes wrong, again, you're starting out in the positive versus the negative in terms of them viewing you. And I'm pretty sure their system is set up to actually have something like that going. Like you have a credit rating, as if you have a credit, or like you have a credit rating for your financial stuff. Of course, if you're in the US here, you're ranked or rated at your overall, Facebook's experience with you. And a part of that rating is the community, how they view you as a whole, not just Facebook. So you start out with that free post, or not free, sorry, that post that has nothing to do with your business but is designed to get you some likes going. That'll actually help you out, not have a problem as you're going to go forward with some other ads that may tick them off. And even if you don't think you have something that's that offensive or fringy or whatever that you're advertising in general, when your account is new, that's when things are even more dicey, because right away Facebook's trying to make a quick judgment on you as to are you a problem or are you not as a whole. Versus if you've been advertising for a while, they've got a lot of information on you and they're not looking to be so trigger happy on whether or not they're going to want to shut you down or not. So they're looking at you very close in the beginning, and if in the beginning they see all those likes, then they can put their guard down. And once you do advertise what you do want to advertise, that might get some people that don't click, that they don't want to see your ad anymore. It's outweighed by the post and where you got 500 likes from advertising in another country where it only, basically to run that post in another country, get 500 likes, you spend $20, $30, and you've put up that defense for the few people who will mark your ad as something they don't want to see later on. And as per being your account so new, the few people who say they don't want to see the ad, it takes far less of them to get your account suspended than what it would be once your account's going for a while. So you get my kind of point there. Start with a post that everybody would like. Nobody's not going to say they don't like it. Get some likes on an initial post on your Facebook page, boost it, spend $20, $30 to advertise it in Afghanistan or whatever, and get your reputation up with Facebook, really high right off the bat. 2, domain verification. So a lot of people don't know about this or think about this, but you can get your website verified with Google to prove your website that you're advertising is your website, basically. And you can just Google that, domain verification. But that's just another thing that's going to, again, Google has a system that determines how they view you, and they have all these different things that they look at, factors, if you will. And knowing that you own your website puts them in a position where they know they can trust you a little bit more than they would otherwise. There's a lot of people who advertise other people's websites. And with that, if they're doing that, not always bad, but it's sketchy. Because it's like, well, we don't know if you're authorized to, or if you don't own that page, why are you advertising it? Is it for malicious purposes? Is this a negative PR campaign? What is it? So, and not to say that you can't also advertise if your competitor had a bad review and advertise it per se, but it's if it gets bad feedback, going back to the feedback thing again, then basically you have a problem. And with that, they know as a whole, if you own the website, that website you're advertising is less likely to have a problem than if you're advertising a website that's not yours, basically. So do yourself a favor. That takes no time at all. You can get that done in 30 minutes. 3, put the correct address and phone number on your Facebook page, okay? So this is very simple, and it's just like it sounds. Make sure you have the correct business address on your Facebook page. Make sure that address matches the one on your website so that it doesn't look like you're trying to set up a new Facebook page for your business that perhaps your other Facebook page got banned and you're trying to so-called circumvent their systems. And it doesn't mean you are, but their algorithm is trying to determine if you're trusted or not. And if you're using a different address, as a whole, the people who do that are trying to circumvent. So again, once your perceived risk, to their community is low enough, or high enough, should I say, they just ban you without having one single thing that you did. It was the accumulation of certain things that you did that get you banned a lot of different times. Phone number, same thing. Make sure the phone number, if you can, matches the phone number on your site. 4, bank account addition. So this isn't going to get you banned in itself, and neither would, again, these other things. It's just about building up your reputation. The bank account thing, Facebook hates, first of all, the worst advertiser that they don't like, or they like the least. They like anybody who spends money, but anymore, they got enough demand for their product. They don't need advertisers. Somebody will buy the ad space. And of course, the more people competing, the more the ads could be spent, ads could be sold for, because more demand creates a higher price. But at the same time, they're really trying to make the people not hate the people advertising on Facebook. So people want to stay on Facebook more and not resent Facebook. And because that obviously gets more opportunity for advertising to be put out there in front of people on Facebook. So they made the judgment call that we're not going to just let anybody advertise. We'll make more money by making sure the ads that are out there are from credible sources that aren't doing sketchy things, and we would just taking anybody's money and having the most competitive environment for all the advertisers to buy our ad space in terms of long-term revenue growth at our company. They don't, out of the advertisers, because they have plenty of demand for their ad space, they also rank you based upon how you pay. If you're trying to pay with a PayPal account, they rate you lower as a less favored person than if you put on a credit card. Why? Because PayPal accounts are usually not as well funded as a credit card. And conversely, bank accounts are the most funded, are generally more funded than credit cards. To go along with this, the more times that your card's rejected, or your Facebook tries to bill your PayPal account and there's no funds, the less and less of a positive, they'll be looking at you less and less positively each time that this happens, because they can compare you to the other people who want the ad space, and if they can consistently, reliably build that that ad space for that person for the ad space, they'd rather go with them. Why? Because their algorithms are trying to learn who's going to have the best ad and have the best ad click-through rates and the best feedback from their users on what ads are shown. And their algorithm can't do a good job figuring that out if there's new ads going in and out all the time. It likes consistency in their advertisers as well. And there's no consistency if they got a bunch of people they're promoting are their ads are on one day, then they're off, then they're on again, then they're off. As soon as you get a history of that, Facebook doesn't want to touch you with a 10-foot pole. They'll promote somebody else. And so that's very important your shit doesn't get, shut down because of the payments. Once you start advertising, spend what you can afford to always, spend what you can afford, and that your ads will never have to go off. So you're not relying on sales to come through next week to pay for next week's ads. Have money saved up so you can spend $10 a day if that's what your budget is for 6 months, regardless of what your sales are for the next 6 months. And that's the better way to go about doing things. So they certainly, because of the statistics behind everything, they know if you have a bank account hooked up to your Facebook account, you'll more likely be a better payer and less likely to have no money in your account. Therefore, they'd rather promote you versus the guy who just has the credit card hooked up to their account, like I was saying before. And this is how it works. So if you want a better reputation with Facebook, add your bank account. Pretty simple. 5. Going back to doing a paid post and do a saying or a quote or something, feel good saying, and get your first 500 likes on that post by advertising it in Afghanistan or whatever, spending $20 on the post. You're going to want to, if you are not active on Facebook already, or if you haven't done this yet, share at least 25 posts on your Facebook page. So the Facebook page looks like it's an active page itself. If you have 1 or 2 posts on your Facebook page, it doesn't look like it's a real business. And people who see an ad and they go to click to see the Facebook page, they don't see what looks like a real business there. That's not going to give people confidence in ads in general, because their feeling is, all people who advertise are not really real businesses. You see where the connection to all this goes? So basically, you want to keep your page updated. And right away, share like 25 things so that your page is filled. And anybody that got to the page and did any kind of scrolling or investigating into the page to see if this is a real business or who's this business, it looks like a real business. And then on top of that, keep updating it. Because obviously, if you've got posts from 2017 showing and it's 2023, that's the other thing that they're going to notice. If they're going to investigate you, and before clicking on your ad or after clicking on your ad, they go to click and see your Facebook page, possibly to see your reviews or what else your company's doing. And for that fact, it's Facebook. So people go to Facebook pages on Facebook. They see an active company there sharing. Somebody who's actively sharing is less likely to be a scam, which would give them a better feeling overall about you, and as well as it dips down into their subconscious memory. As they see ads in the future, they think that next ad they're going to see is also probably going to be a reputable company, because the last one they checked out was a reputable company. So keep updating it. I would say at least update your Facebook page with another post once a week. And obviously, if you're doing Facebook advertising, that's not updating your Facebook page. So you're going to as you advertise, you're going to have to update posts. Unless you're boosting posts, which I don't recommend boosting posts, because the targeting capabilities when you just boost a post isn't very good. So you run your, as they call it, dark social media ads on Facebook that are not just posts on your page, and then also post on your page, regardless or not if anybody's actually seeing it. It's not even about that. It's about, and this will increase your conversions anyway. It'll increase your profits from your ads anyway, because a certain percentage, 1 to 10%, are going to code your Facebook page and see if it looks like you're a legit company. Is there active stuff going on? And you don't want to blow the sale at the last minute because you didn't do that stuff. But it's just as important, or should I say more important, just from the standpoint that Facebook wants to see you do it, because they know as a whole the people who do it are less likely to be problems. Therefore, your rating with Facebook, as they have a rating of you and what they think of you, is going to be higher because you're actively updating that page. And as you're starting out and you're really under the magnifying glass, that you add a bunch of posts right away. So if the review person that's really checking you out in the beginning sees your page, it looks like you're making a valiant effort to do this the right way. Okay, 6, answer chats. So this is a big one that I've seen a lot of our clients do. We would advertise on Facebook, and some of our clients don't even want to do Facebook because they got to update. You'll get a lot of comments on your newsfeed ads, and so you got to keep up with that stuff. And it's not just a nice to have thing now. Facebook actively, again, so-called penalizes you, or at least views you differently or more negatively if they see people are commenting and you're not responding to them. And so you want to respond to your chats. Sorry, I got these two mixed up here, chats, comments. So you want to absolutely answer the comments to your newsfeed ads there because first of all, that's going to get you more sales. Somebody who asks a question and then you don't respond, they're less likely to buy from you in terms of them not trusting you now. B, because they didn't get the question answered that they needed to answer to buy. Then of course, beyond that, when somebody asks a question and you don't answer it, less people are likely to leave a comment and ask a question, which that's the way that they're comfortable asking questions. And so they don't think you're going to respond to a comment, and they were going to leave a comment, but they didn't leave a comment because it looks like you don't answer comments, so therefore they never got their question answered in order that they needed to buy, so therefore you didn't get the sale from that type of person. And then going further, people who see you have answered a lot of these comments and you're very active and you respond right away, they think you're a more legit company. They're more likely to buy from you for that. Then on top of that, when people see all the comments and they read the comments, they learn stuff that they wouldn't have normally thought about that's also going to help them buy. So all these different reasons actually increase the ROI of your campaign if you respond, and also respond quickly. Encourages people to ask more questions, gets you to be viewed in a much more trusted light. But even just more important than that is the fact that Facebook's looking at whether or not you're responding to these comments as to see if they should respect you more or actually trust you less, basically, as an advertiser and somebody to deal with in their ecosystem. Like I said, I got these mixed up. You want to also answer the chats for going to the next one here, the chat. So specifically in Facebook Messenger, if somebody messages you, because people still do that as well, and you'll get more of it the more you advertise. They go to your Facebook page, they go to do Facebook Messenger, they ask you a question there. Same thing with the comments on the newsfeed ads. If you don't answer those, Facebook looks at you like you're not deserving of being an advertiser because the people that you wasted their time with the ad and then you didn't even follow up with them when they had a question, that makes people think less of ads as a whole, and Facebook's trying to move away from that. So you got to answer your Facebook Messenger messages, and you got to do it in a timely manner, like with the comments. You can't come back 3 weeks later and answer them all. Answer them the same day if you can. Sometimes you can, I understand that, but basically you got to have, and with that you're going to have probably, not you the owner, somebody managing this for you. When you run the Facebook ad, somebody's going to have to every day, their job is to answer these comments, answer these chats from the Facebook Messenger, and do it on a regular schedule. That's a part of Facebook advertising now. It always was, but now it's particularly important because more people are expecting you to respond, first of all, but also Facebook's going to look at you very negatively if you don't do this. If you can't answer the chats on Facebook Messenger, you do have a workaround, which is you can do an autoresponder, so it looks like that you're responding, at least. That's better than nothing, but if you're going to advertise on Facebook, you get somebody who can respond to the messages. Realistically, it's like live chat. People that do live chat and then don't answer the live chat during business hours, dumb. It actually, I think, hurts you more than it helps you, because when somebody asks a question and then you don't respond, they're just like let down. Now they're like depressed. They don't want to continue at that. They spent all this. They were all excited, waiting for an answer, and then nothing. And so you're gonna definitely hurt your sales from you're aggravating the consumer that wanted to do business with you. You're letting them down. Now they're not motivated to continue the process of buying because of that. So you do what you need to get these ads to work, and that's it. Get somebody set up. If you can do it in real time when a message comes in, the salesperson should actually be able to answer those Facebook Messenger chats and also answer the comments. You could just say, basically, you can do what some of the other people that I talk to do. If somebody asks a question there in the comments or in the Facebook Messenger chat, they may actually, you get a sales opportunity there. Or, you know, if you have salespeople, that would be something that I would personally be having them do as well to help you manage this. And then obviously answering in real time, you're going to get the most positive view from Facebook, which is going to protect your account the most long term. It gives you more breathing room, so when you screw up, like I said, it's less likely to give you a problem. So anyway, those are the key things that Facebook's, I know for a fact, looking at now, and what you specifically want to be doing. As I mentioned before though, use multiple backup accounts. No matter how well you do, no matter how squeaky clean your business is, nobody is going to have a bulletproof account. You could, and with that, so there's two things. A, you can make a mistake with no intention of doing anything negatively or bad, and you get your account shut down. I've seen this. B, Facebook's algorithm is the one actually checking to see if you're complying with policies now. And so they can make mistakes a lot. And so you could just have an account that was fine for years and years and years. And then one day it's just banned, and then you have to move on and get another account, and that's it. So, and like I said before, much better to get the account set up ahead of time. Do all the stuff that I said here. Set up your posts, your address, your phone number, do all this stuff, get it on deck, advertise a feel-good quote, get that activity, get the likes going, set up your ads, get everything ready to go. And this is just good policy that if your ad account got shut down, you don't want to have a huge gap of time where you don't have those Facebook sales you're relying on. You want to have something that's ready to go the same day anyway. So just don't wait until it happens, basically. And even if you could get it back up and did all this stuff later on, or just got yourself back going a week or two later, again, you're going to be looked at very, very closely in the beginning. And after you just get shut down and you're looked at very, very closely, it'll be a precarious situation to get through the probationary period with your new account versus already having all that reputation built up for you. Basically, the chances that your second account getting shut down will be much less than if you would have set up that second account and then had to go build up a reputation. Well, just recently your other account got shut down, and then you're looked at super hard at that particular time. So anyway, that's the main things about Facebook. It's a totally different world on Facebook in terms of advertising, the amount of people that they're screwing with now, what you really got to do to be able to not have problems on Facebook, and just to protect yourself in general. If you like the video, I would appreciate it if you would consider giving it a thumbs up and like it. And also subscribing to this channel, as I have a lot of very, very valuable advice on this channel about PPC money-making strategies. And we also go over things that pitfalls and so forth, like I gave you here. And it's actual advice that I'm bringing to you from our PPC agency, where we manage roughly 50 clients at any given time here. And the stuff that's working and not working is given to you on this channel so that you don't have to figure out all this stuff for yourself. Also, by the way, I have a blog at guaranteedppc.com/blog, which has step-by-step information on how I build PPC campaigns here for our clients, in which we have to guarantee their results. If you want to learn how to do things in a more tangible step-by-step fashion, there's some really good information there for you as well. Whereas on this channel, specifically, I go over the overall high-level stuff. There's more tactical, or should I say more technical step-by-step information for you there, and could really capitalize on that likely for yourself as well. If you have any questions about Facebook, getting suspended or how to protect yourself, like those kind of things, leave me a comment below. I get back to every single person who leaves me a comment on this channel, usually within a couple days. And so with that, hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you on the next one. We'll have another great video where I'll come out with another great strategy, be able to either make you some money or save you a lot of money with your PPC campaigns on Google, Facebook, and the like.